Peace and blessing, everybody. So I've told all of you in the why I wear hijab video that I'd be doing the style that I was wearing in the video as tutorial number 30, and guess what? We're here! Okay. So that's exactly what I'm going to be showing you today, is how to create that crisscrossed style, very fancy, with a viscose shawl. So please stay tuned and enjoy the video. Peace and blessing, brothers and sisters. So just to get started, I'm wearing an underscarf with, at the back, as you can see, there's a volumizer in the back. And you'll be needing a shawl. Now, I've been using viscose shawls lately, for this style especially, but in general, just because the weather here in Canada is getting a lot colder, so I've been using a lot more viscose shawls, which are what you guys can call sometimes pashminas. So just be aware of this. This is what I'm going to be using. First thing you're going to be doing, just take it somewhere in the middle, as closely at the middle as you can get, about this, and just shove it. Put it in the front. So I'm taking both ends and pulling them to the back. What I'm going to be doing next is just crossing them, so just around my neck. I'm crossing them. And set up whatever coverage you want in the front. There you go. Now the next step you're going to be taking is take either one of the sides, whichever one seems to be shorter. So I'm going to go with this one. And crisscross it on your head. So just take it over your ear and over the underscarf. And just kind of across. Now you can secure it right away if you want. I like to just keep it just secure the front so that it stays where it's supposed to, but not yet the back. So as you can see, I'm just going to secure it very much right here. As you can see, like, I've given it much of a crisscross, and you'll see why in a moment, but it just looks better if you crisscross one end. There you go. Now we're going to take the other side and do the same thing, or almost, and just crisscross in the front. Now with this one, is going to be a little different. You are going to almost pull it across the same way you've done on the other side. However, and you see how, like, automatically it kind of going to give you a fold if you do this, but like when you pull like this and just kind of let it fall, you'll see some folds are already creating themselves. Just kind of go ahead and fold it over. So you're not really folding much, but then you are going to just pin it under your ear. Wait, just because it's giving me kind of a few folds on this side, I'm just going to fix that part. There you go. And as I said, now if you're wondering how I got two colors, because I don't know if you saw for the why I chose Islam video, if you're looking at the how I got, like, literally it's a crisscross but then it looks like it's two colors, it's because the shawl itself has a like, basically where I have the second layer, it has two colors, so it goes from being blue on one side and beige on the other, and just by folding it a specific way, you can manage to make it look like it's one beige, one blue. At least for my case, but I mean whatever color. So if you have a shawl that has a strip, like a specific strip of color, like mine did, like a specific division, just make sure that the division is straight in the middle. So you might have to actually play with the scarf a little bit, make it so that the middle is a little different. However you need to do this, but just kind of start folding it in a way that when you're folding it over, you're folding right on top of what's already brown. or what, so from the blue side. So what you're going to be doing to create more folds, it's literally like you'd usually create more folds just by lifting. However, you're going to be lifting only one side. So I'm lifting over here. I had to lift a little bit from the back too, just because otherwise I would not have had enough fabric and I would have been pulling all kinds of everything rather than actually pulling the fabric. Now, one tip I will give you though is to not, don't necessarily be too stingy on the fabric. Try to like take large folds, and if you're having problems with the look of it all, honestly, it's probably because you're not leaving enough fabric to do the proper folds, because that's honestly what tends to happen and is the worst mistake you can do, is not, when you're doing the fold, not taking enough and trying to do too little, because then after that it just bunches up. It's really uncomfortable and awkward looking. So just take as much fabric as you need, and that's, remember that you have a second layer, right, that you did at the very beginning, so make sure that that one covers everything, and that way, worst comes to worst, you can always just have the fabric go up to here and the rest will be the lower layer. And that's usually what kind of winds up happening with me. So here, once again, you've created the fold. You're going to be folding over. What's interesting is you're going to wind up pinning mainly on the one side. So it's just about folds. It's very much about creating proper fold, and it's about being patient too and not just jumping at them. And again, lifting more of the shawl. I do like to work with very light viscose shawls for this style, because they do tend to be keeping the folds much better than, let's say, chiffon or any of the other fabrics. So as you can see, I just fold it over here. And I absolutely love this style, and I'm going to try and see if I can find a link on the internet, but one of my favorite things to do with my hair when I was wearing just hair was to do like a crisscross line in my hair. Like when I did like the partition, I would part it with a zigzag in it. I'll see if I can find a video of it on the internet and show you guys what I used to do. But yeah, so it always makes me happy when I do this style, because it very much looks like the partition I used to have in my hair all the time. It makes me happy. Gives me good memories, because I started doing that partition when I was quite young, so it's almost a childhood memory at this point. And then again. Now, of course, you can continue doing this if you want. I usually stop right around here and just make sure that I have all my layers covering everything, because otherwise you tend to have like holes or anything like that. So depending on what you want. I also do a little bit like in the remembering 10 folds. So I usually take all my layers here and I create even more layers if just in the back, not really in the back, but just like on the side here, by folding the shawl, and then I pin it together just for looks. So that's one way to do it, to finish off your layers. So just I'm pinning it on from the inside here. That's one way to finish it. Or, and I think that's what I did in the Why I Chose Islam video, really pull it to the back and pin it kind of under all the layers of fabric. So depending on what you decide to do, I usually, depending on what and how well I manage my folds, because like in this case it's giving me kind of a bunch on one side that doesn't even out to the other, so I probably today, because of how I manage my fold, just bring it to the back and pin it that way. But as you've seen in why I chose Islam video, I kept it on the side. And of course, if you play with the length, so if you play, sorry, with the length of each side, so for example, in the why I chose Islam video, it's a lot shorter on one side and the other. If you play with your lengths, you will get a very long, just a very long side, similarly to getting the Remembering Tenfold videos. So it can be very beautiful too if that's what your interest is. Alright, well, I hope that this helped. Just how to get the folds in a beautiful hijab style. So thank you very much and please stay tuned. If you haven't done so yet, please go and share this video with your friends. I'm looking to get a little bit more subscribers, so don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to share. Alright, peace and blessing everybody.